What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Patriot Specialized today. Today's episode got a lot going on, a lot of things to talk about, but first off, we got to get this guy right here. We got to get him delivered down in Memphis, Tennessee, and then we are going to bounce down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi and pick up an air handler unit we got to deliver up in Northeast Maryland. So stick around, a lot to cover.
Right across these plains and prairies, Rocky Mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, steel horses side by side. It's more than just a living, y'all. Hell, it's our way of life. We're the last of the cowboys to giddy up gun.
All right, guys, so I really wanted to do this portion of this video right here when it wasn't dark outside. As you can tell, it's pretty dark out. I was really hoping to, I probably should have stopped earlier today at one of the rest areas and shot this video, but I was hoping to get up here and get parked. I didn't want to waste any time because I knew Baltimore was going to be a struggle getting through that traffic time on the time I was going to get there. Baltimore's kind of turned into a little bit of Washington, D.C. with traffic. And I knew it was going to be a struggle, so I was trying to get there as early as I could to get through it, but unfortunately that didn't work for me, and I got stuck for about an hour in that traffic down there. So I'm going to show you this load in the dark, but first, before we get that done, we got to get that Doosan delivered down in Memphis, Tennessee. This one was a little bit tricky. This turned out to be a roadside delivery where we were just parked on the side of the road, like not even the side of the road. We were parked in the lane of the road, dropped it right there because there was no way for us to get in the job site. They knew that. They told me that ahead of time. I knew what I was in for. I didn't realize how skinny that road was going to be. So this might have been one of the most dangerous deliveries I've ever made. There's cars flying by and those people just didn't seem to care. So I hope you enjoy. Don't worry, I didn't get hurt. There was no equipment or personnel was hurt in the making of this video. So hope you enjoy. All right, so there you have it. We got that thing delivered. That, as you saw on the video, that was a little bit dangerous being on the side of the road like that. I had asked the guy at one point to take the boom on the excavator and just turn the excavator sideways, take the bucket and set it down the other lane, just stop traffic altogether. I think that would have actually worked, and then they wouldn't have been zipping through there while I was trying to take my securement off. But unfortunately, he was scared to do that. He was afraid somebody would ride, and I get it, like somebody might run into it and then it's his problem. So that was one of the most dangerous deliveries I've made. It wasn't that bad. You know, I'm probably making it out to be a little bit worse than it was, but it definitely was. I had to watch my back. Like, I had to pay attention to what was going on behind me all the time. And of course, it had started raining right then, and that road was all mud, like all dirt from where they're coming in and out of their job site. So it was just mud. So these people were driving by super fast, and it's just spraying me with muddy water. It was kind of annoying. Like, I was kind of like, wow, you know, you people, like, it's kind of obvious what we're doing. You'd think you would slow down a little bit. You know, I had all my lights on. I was, you know, had strobe lights going. Like, I wasn't hiding the fact that I was there, but we got it done. That was the important part. Everybody was safe. Nobody got hurt. It was a little bit interesting, but we got that thing done, and then we ran down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. We ended up delivering, picking up Hattiesburg the next morning, which would be Wednesday morning, which is a struggle. And one of the things I want to talk about this week on the episode is the time change. We, as we all know, we switched times this past weekend, and it really affects us in the overdimensional world. Really affects us. In this particular case, this week, as a matter of fact, so far, we're going to see what happens tomorrow, but so far, I have managed to sneak into the perfect spots where I've been able to continue to run and get my logbook run out every day. But that is not going to work for the rest of the time. When time changes and it gets dark, so as you guys know, there's curfews, and we are not allowed to run in the dark. So in most states, so what happens there is, as soon as the time changes, and as you know, it gets dark so darn early now that we are very much struggling to get the miles put on that we're used to running, and this is part of it. Now, there is a couple ways around it if you're lucky enough to do it. This week, I planned this. The first one I got lucky on. The second one I got, it was kind of planned, and it was perfect. I had to go to the shop Monday morning to get a service done on the truck, and it was a darn good thing I did, because they found a tire. I'm going to put a picture of this tire up. They found a tire that somehow, it looked like dry rot on the inside and outside edge of this tire, about 1 inch up. But from what I'm finding out from other people, this is kind of common to a lot of tires. First time it's ever happened to me, but how in the world? I was running about little under 60,000 pounds on my drives. With that excavator on, and I ran it from Connecticut back. I don't know when that happened. I'm assuming it had been there, and you can't, with those fenders on there, there's portions of these tires you can't see. So if it's got air and I can see the tread underneath, then that's pretty much what the only thing you can check on these tires is air pressures and tread, and there's the inside and outside is very difficult to see with my fenders. So it's something to be considered about when you're putting fenders on your truck. This one, thankfully, I didn't have a problem with it, and we got to the shop. Those guys found it and got that replaced. There was a couple other things, the shocks on the front of the truck. There was a little struggle there. We ended up putting new shocks on. My washer fluid container was leaking a little bit, so they went ahead and put a new container on. So we got a lot done. Got a lot done at the shop on Monday, and I didn't get out of there till about 1:15 in the afternoon. Oh, there was also a trailer issue, and I think when I was loading the excavator, one of the electrical cord that comes from the bottom of the trailer and plugs into the neck of the trailer, I think it was sitting in a bad spot or moved or something, and when I put the excavator up on, it pinched in between the ramp and the trailer and cut 2 wires, and I was very much struggling to keep power to those things. There is a way to do it. I was able to do it to get lights, so I was able to have the lights and be able to run, but I would not recommend doing what I did. But what I did there was I found one on the pigtail with the test light that had power, and I ran a paper clip from one hole to the next and then plugged it back in. That will give you power over to those other lights, and they will do, as long as they're marker lights, they will do everything they're supposed to. However, if there's a break in that connection, and when you're driving down the road and that thing decides to make connection, now you're going to blow a fuse, because now you got two different power sources trying to power the same thing. So it's kind of risky to do it that way. I didn't know what was wrong. I took the risk just to make sure that I could get back to our shop, so we didn't have a service call. And you guys know how expensive this is anyways, and those guys found it very quickly, so we got it fixed right away, so that was great. But got that all done, left the shop at about 1:15 in the afternoon, got down, we managed to, Ohio does not let you run in the evening. It's not a state that lets you run in the dark. So I had to be out of Ohio before it got dark, and I managed to squeak my way on right when it was getting dark. As you know, a half hour after is what Ohio will give you. Right as it was getting dark, I was crossing into Kentucky, so that was perfect. Kentucky lets you run at night, Tennessee lets you run at night. So I knew I could run my logbook out for Monday evening, so I did. I got down to Glendale, Kentucky. I stopped there for the evening, and I finished it out on Tuesday. And got delivered, I think it was about, I want to say it was about 11 o'clock in the morning I got there to make delivery in Tennessee, and got that all taken care of, made that crazy delivery, and then ran my butt down to Hattiesburg, got loaded Wednesday morning in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, to come up here to Northeast Maryland. And if there's enough light, I parked underneath a light, and I'm hoping that there's enough light out there for me to show you this load, but I'm gonna show it to you real quick. And all right, so I'm not gonna bother putting my hat on, because you will not be able to see my face out there. This light is the light I'm under is way above us, and if I put my hat on, you won't be able to see my face at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this video without my hat on, and hopefully you're gonna be able to see this thing. So let's do this. This is our baby right here. This is an air handling unit, otherwise known as an air conditioner. I don't know why they call it. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not an air conditioner. Maybe it actually handles the air in some way. But it's kind of goofy to me that we call it air handling unit. But I don't really know what the dang thing does. But that's what they call it, an air handling unit. This thing, we are a little under 12 foot wide. Little under 12 foot tall. And we are weighing in at a whopping 9,100 pounds. This thing only weighs 9,100 pounds. It is super light. I was super excited. Thought for sure I was gonna get killer fuel mileage, but again, this thing is a giant wind catch. It's like a kite back there, and it just sucks the air. So it definitely, it didn't hurt me on fuel mileage, but I didn't get as good as I thought I would. So that was kind of unfortunate, but we didn't do any worse than we normally do. So that was a positive thing too. So what we got here is 9,100 pounds. They have very specific chaining requirements that they have. They have these eyelets, these lifting points. I'm gonna try to show this to you. Right here, there's a hole cut out, and this is bolted on. For whatever reason, they don't want this on too much of an angle, otherwise it will bend the frame on the inside. So they want you to basically come straight from the trailer up through it and then go back. So what I did, I ended up breaking out my 3/8 chains, because my 1/2 inch chains, they would not fit through that hole, but my 3/8 would go right through there. So I used my 3/8 chain. Weight wise, it doesn't make any difference. So I went ahead and broke out my 3/8 chains to do this, ran it through the hole, hooked it to the trailer down here, came up, ran through the hole, and then ran right back down to the trailer, hooked the binder in, put one binder. We did that on all 4 corners where these pieces are. So basically, we get half credit for each, well, yeah, half credit for each one. So essentially we have 6,500 pounds worth of securement over here and 6,500 pounds worth of securement on the other side. So we're running about 13,000 pounds worth of securement on a load that weighs 9,000 pounds. So plenty good on securement. We also have these hoods right back here that These things are bolted to the pallet, which was awesome. They bolted every single hole and bolted it right to the pallet. It's a pretty sturdy pallet. It's a little better than normal pallet, so I was confident that I originally went with one strap, but then I noticed that it started to wiggle a little bit, so I ended up putting another strap just across the pallet itself, just try to hold the pallet in place so we didn't have that thing wiggle, and it worked. Worked great, especially since as you can see on this load, you can't see my mirrors on that truck, which means I can't see that piece sitting there. I have no idea what's going on back here while I'm driving down the road, whether that thing has come loose or whether it's kind of a struggle. You got to check it quite often in order to make sure that that you don't lose anything off the back of your trailer. You know, other drivers are good at on the CB about telling you if you got something loose, but we didn't have any trouble. Thing rode great, so we got it here. We were at a Flying J in Northeast Maryland. We are less than 1 minute from our delivery. Our delivery is basically straight across the street. It's in a industrial park, so I got to go around the block to get there. But we're basically right across the street from our delivery, so we're going to be able to. I called them and talked to them. They said bring it in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they will get me empty, which is fantastic because coming up, we get this thing delivered tomorrow. On the next video, you're going to see us getting this thing delivered, and then we're headed back to Baltimore. Haven't been there in a while, so that's kind of cool. We're going into the port of Baltimore, and we're picking up a 740 articulating dump truck to go to Novi, Michigan. So that's what will be on the next episode. Looking forward to doing that. Looking forward to getting back in the port. I haven't been there in quite a while, so hopefully one of you guys, I know I got a lot of guys that watch the channel that go to the port, so if you see me tomorrow, I should be there. Hopefully I'll be there between 8:30 and 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if you see me, make sure you come say hi. So that's it for this episode, guys. That's all we got going on. Hopefully you enjoyed what you see, obviously. Thanks for tuning in today. If this is your first time on the channel and you like what you see, please hit that like button. If you want to see more, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate that. And we are going to, right now, I'm going to jump in line for a shower, go inside, get something to eat, and then hopefully we'll be running over there first thing in the morning, get this thing off the trailer. Maybe with any luck, we'll be out of there by 7:15. Then we'll get to go back down to Baltimore and fight with traffic again. So that's what we do. That's the life we live. So we will talk to y'all soon. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody stay safe out there.